Great question. I'm 72 years old and I have a family. My wife married for 50 years and a daughter who's 46 and my son who's 36. I came to the US in 1976, 46 years ago, from India, and right now I live in Orlando, having worked in upstate New York for over 30 years. So I'm escaping snow and coming here. My background, I have a degree in mechanical engineering and I have an MBA in marketing. But my background essentially is doing things that I enjoy the most. So that's what I'm doing here today. Why am I doing this? Actually, that's a profound question, and I'll tell you why. In 2020, it was the summer, and I realized that I'm headed towards kidney failure. From that time to my dialysis, actual dialysis, it was almost a year. So those 12 months of my life, that period of 12 months, was one of the worst periods I've ever experienced. It was almost devastating for me. Why? Because I didn't know what was in store for me. And then I had weird thoughts, like such as, is my wife going to be a widow? Am I going to hold my grandchildren? Am I going to be able to travel? Am I going to do anything at all in the rest of my life? All thoughts that drove me crazy. My creatinine level, which is a good indication of your kidney function, was going up, whereas my GFR, which is the filtration rate of the kidney, was going down. While one thing was going up, the other thing was going down. My mind was going crazy. So that happened, and eventually I got on dialysis. I remember the date. It was July 27th, 2021. And then I got into dialysis. Things happened. I came to this kidney center, started the dialysis. 3 months into the dialysis session, a lot of introspection, a lot of thinking. And I said, I got to write these thoughts on a piece of paper. That gave birth to my essay called 88 Hours. That changed my life. You ask me, why am I doing this? I don't want anybody, not even one person who has CKD, to go through what I went through. It is not acceptable. And I thought maybe I can deliver that message in a positive way, that people know that it is not a death sentence, but it is a gift of life. So that's my sole intention. I don't even know whether to call it advice. I call it suggestions, because who am I to give advice? So I told you I wrote an essay called 88 Hours, and I'll give you the summary of it. There are three things one needs to do once you get onto dialysis or as you go through CKD. One is you must have the right attitude, and I'll talk to you more about it in a minute. The other thing is right support network, and the third thing is discipline, right discipline. So right attitude, right support network, and right discipline. If you have those, I think you can live life. And I can elaborate on each of those. Let's start with right attitude. Right attitude starts with mathematics. I'm an engineer by education, so I like numbers. So I'll boil it down to 88 hours. That is the name of my essay. Each of us, everybody who's listening to this, watching it, all of us have 168 hours in a week. That's 24 multiplied by 7. All of us have that. Now for me, you take away 68 hours because that's the amount of time I sleep. So now I got 100 hours. Now every person has 100 hours or right about that. I call them active hours. I don't have 100 hours. Why? Because I am on dialysis. So I take away 12 hours that I spend at this center, and now I got 88 hours left. 88 hours. You might have 75, somebody else might have 92, but you have finite number of active hours in a week. So what has that got to do with attitude? What you do with those 88 hours is up to you, up to us. For example, somebody might choose to just watch TV for 88 hours. Fine, 88 hours of watching TV. But I decided I can do a lot of things with 88 hours. I can do community work, I can learn how to cook, I can go for strolls, I can travel. So you can do a lot of things with those 88 hours. So 88 hours to go to math again, it is like 4,576 hours. You can do the math. Okay, that's about 200 days in a year. Now, if you are a football fan, NFL fan, that is like watching 1,307 football games. That's how much time you have. So what do you do with it? So that's where it's attitudinal, as I call it. You can decide that I'm not going to waste my time moaning about it. Instead, I'll do something that is productive. So that's all attitude. And I know if I can do it, everybody else can do it. So that's the whole thing about attitude. So that is about attitude. The second thing I said is network. And I may look at my notes because I don't want to miss out on a single name. So I come to this kidney center, which is in Landstar. I call it my lifeline. I call it my support network. I call it my family. I call it my second home. Why do I say that? I have Elvis. I have Jennifer. I have Caroline. I have Blake. I have Francis. I have Chris. I have Federico. I have Lani. I have Thelma. I have Shasha. I have, who else did I miss? I don't know. I have all these people supporting me every time I come here. And they are my lifeline. Why? Because they tell me what to do. They tell me what not to do. They tell me what to eat, what not to eat. Example, one of them said, don't drink too much fluids. Take a grape, freeze it and suck on it. Somebody told me, come in not heavy weighted. In other words, come in light weighted. Focus on what you eat, what you drink. They told me another thing, which I never thought about. They said, hey, you can cut salt very easily by not eating processed food. So they give so much advice, and it is incumbent upon us to build that relationship with all the people that you have in your center or in your family. And they will do you lots of good. They're all selfless, they're compassionate, they're empathetic. I spend more time with them than I spend with my brother, my sister, my children. The only person I spend more time with is my wife because I live with her for 50 years. Other than that, this is my family. So take advantage of that. So that is one type of support network. The second support network is your nephrologist and the nurse practitioner. There is a lot of information floating around on YouTube and on social media and all that. You can read it, you can watch it, but use your nephrologist and your nurse practitioner as a counselor. Just go to them, build a relationship with them. You'll get lots of dividends from it. The third thing of a support network is your own family, is your friends, is your relatives. Be open with them. Don't try to hide anything from them. Speak up. It is good to be vulnerable. We are all not macho. We are all vulnerable. Underneath all, we have insecurities. Express those insecurities. Learn from them. It will make you feel good. So having this support network will improve your mind. It will improve your attitude. When you improve your attitude, a lot of good things happen. So that's all about support network. What did I say about the third thing? There is another thing that is important. That is the discipline. You can do all these things without any discipline. Discipline is tough. And I will give you an example of food habits. What do I mean by that? We have diet restrictions. So I have a little card which I posted on my refrigerator and also on my pantry. It says ARC, ARC. What does that mean? A stands for avoid certain foods. I avoid eating bananas. I don't eat oranges because it has potassium. You know what to avoid, just avoid it. R stands for restrict your snacks and restrict your desserts. What does that mean? You go to your pantry in between meals, you see cashew nuts, you see peanuts, you see crackers, you see cookies. You're tempted to eat. Maybe you can cheat a little bit, but don't cheat a lot. Just restrict that urge by imagining that this taste is momentary, it will go in 30 seconds. Just avoid it. Don't go to the pantry. That's discipline. That's R, out of the arc. C, control portions. When you order a pizza, I say, I'm going to eat a pizza. I cannot live without a pizza. But don't eat 6 slices of pizza. Don't eat 3 slices of pizza. Eat one and maybe another half. And that should satiate your urge to splurge. So that's an example of discipline. You can express the same discipline by exercising on non-dialysis days. I force myself to go to to a center where I can walk for indoor for 45 minutes. I put on my headphones and I go and do my walk. Have this discipline to do it. Yeah, you can miss it once or twice, but don't miss it a lot. Today is my non-dialysis days. I'm not exercising, I'm here. Discipline means also what you eat, how much TV you watch. It's all T, D. I mean discipline. So that's the whole story about discipline. Once you have discipline, you gain better attitude. When you gain better attitude, your health gets better. When your health gets better, you feel better. When you feel get better, you act better. It's a chain reaction. So that's my, I won't even call it advice. I would say look at dialysis as a gift of life, not as a death sentence, and things will happen. What are my final thoughts? Let me go back to the time when I had to make a decision about dialysis. I had two options. I had only two options. They are binary options. One was to not go through dialysis and stop living. Option number two was go through the dialysis treatment 3 times a week, 12 hours a week, but live life. In a nanosecond, I made a decision. I took option number two. My option was to live life. So I would say three things that matter. One, it is the attitude. Attitude matters. Number two, your network, support network matters. And number three, discipline matters. And I'll end this with a little quote that I found. I don't know who wrote it, but I'm trying to now master the art of staying young while growing old. Master the art of staying young while growing old. And I hope all of you who are listening, watching, decide to join this, hold hands and join this bandwagon.